want to get everything started at this time, but thank you for coming. We have done another great thing today. Brandon Miles is going to be signing with Cumberland University to further his career in basketball. It's here no less than a couple of days ago, signing another young man to play at Cumberland. So Cumberland's getting another fine young man. I just want to take a second and talk about Brandon and thank him for his hard work, his dedication, and the effort and the time that he's put in on the court and also in the classroom. I've had Brandon in class as well. He's a student of mine, and it was no problem. I enjoyed having him in the classroom. He works hard there, and I just appreciate him so much. And I love him, and I appreciate him, and he's done so well. And I can't express enough thanks for you and how hard you've worked. And it means a lot to me, and he set a good example for other student athletes, and I just want to thank you, and I know you're going to do well. You're going to be very successful. You're going to represent Cannon County High School very well. The boys program, the community, and everyone that's included in that. And I just, I couldn't be more proud. I really appreciate you, Brandon.
Thank you.
So the way this is going to go, I'm going to introduce Mr. Curtis here in just a second, and he's going to say a few words. Then Brandon is going to say a few words. Then after Brandon gets done, then me and Mr. Curtis are going to excuse ourselves, and then he's going to be surrounded by Coach Haley, Coach Watson, and Coach Ramos, along with Coach Brown from Cumberland University, and then he's going to sign his letter of intent, and then after we do that, then we'll have questions from the media. And then once we have questions from the media, once they get done, we'll have wrap this session up and have pictures and things like that. So at this time, I want to introduce Mr. Freddie Curtis, our superintendent of schools, and he's going to say something about Brandon. Mr. Curtis.
Good morning. It's always a pleasure to be at a college signing, and as we continue on in our move for excellence. And I think these athletes demonstrate that every day, and that's our vision, and that is our mission. Certainly is to prepare all of our students for their future, and by doing so, we want to do that in every way possible, academically, but also athletically. And one of the things we do as part of our vision, how do we achieve that mission? Is through our vision, and that is to be engaged in excellence every day. And when I look across at this sitting beside me, this young man, I have literally known him all of his life. I had his mother in class as a student, had his aunt in the class as a student, had many of their other relatives as a student. But I also had Brandon. I was Brandon's principal when I was at Westside. And then I came to the high school as a U.S. government sociology teacher, and I had Brandon in those classes at Cannon County High School, and had Brandon as a freshman when I was doing Lion Quest as an introductory class to Cannon County High School. I was asked to teach that, and Brandon was in one of my first groups. So Brandon and I have a long history. But one of the things I'm very, very encouraged about this young man is that he is also wanting to excel athletically, excel academically. And that's where he's a great example to those students who are gathering in the audience today and those watching by television. Well, let me tell you, this young man is going to do great things with his life. Basketball is just an extension of who he is. And I want to say it's an honor to have been his principal, an honor to have been his teacher, but most importantly, it's an honor to be his friend and know that he's going to represent Cannon County well at Cumberland University. So Brandon, my congratulations.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you. Well, I just want to thank everybody for coming here today. I thank you for all your support and helping me through everything. There's people here that have helped me whenever I've been down on myself, even been there for me and hyping me up whenever I've been doing good. But throughout these 4 years, it's been a roller coaster, along with minutes playing, getting hurt, anything like that. And I've had incredible teammates, incredible classmates, and there's a few in the back that are trying to make me laugh up here. But that's how our team was. We were a bunch of goofballs, and I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss everybody here. I'm going to miss this small town and all the support. I can't thank the coaches enough for helping me and working with me. I want to thank Coach Cagle for being a great teacher whenever he had me in class and being a great coach whenever he was coaching. And Coach Nick, I know this is your first year, but you did a lot for me this year. You helped me through this year. It was a struggle sometimes, but you helped me through it. And Coach Ramos, you are the one that kept me into this. At the end of the basketball season, I was debating on whether or not I wanted to play, but you carried me through this, and you made me a better player and a better man. And that's about all I have to say. Thank y'all for coming out and all the support you have given me. I didn't forget about you. I didn't forget about you.
I got your pen back.
Hey, I think I had a pen flush about it. Thank you. Man, I'm shaking like crazy. I'm shaking like crazy, dude.
Question from the media?
Brandon, you said that at the end of this basketball season, you're about ready to call it quits. All of a sudden, one of your coaches that you got with kind of picked you up and said, hey, see what you can do. How did that work out? How did you meet this coach?
Well, I actually met him through Coach Nick. They're pretty good friends. They talk all the time. But whenever I contacted him, he accepted me and let me come to him, and he's worked me out hard. He'll tell you himself. He's almost killed me sometimes. But he's made me a better player, and he's the reason why I'm here right now, because he's just worked me. Any other questions?
What was it on film that stuck out about him that really made you think he would be a good fit at Cumberland?
This is a bit of his overall play. He's a kid that can be accessible on both sides of the floor, and that's the thing that most kids don't realize today. It's not all about kids want to stay behind the 3-point line, or kids want to dribble through basketballs, but it's being accessible to both sides of the floor that'll get you playing time. So that's what stuck out. So.
Brandon, talk about some areas of your game you still want to improve in. You talked about these workouts and how intense. Where do you see areas now that you really need to and want to improve in before you get to Cumberland?
Finishing at the rim, becoming more athletic, and just working on my whole game. Defense, offense, being a team leader if I need to be, and then just coming up big if they need me.
One of your big-time coaches, I think, is sitting over here.
Yeah.
To your right, again, Mr. Haley, Coach Haley. And talk a little bit about your time at Westside and what it meant to learn under Coach Haley, who taught you a lot of the fundamentals.
Well, at Westside, he's the one who really got me into basketball. He taught me everything I knew, from dribbling a ball to shooting to becoming a team leader and knowing each position no matter what. And he taught me how to adapt to what was going on in the game. So if somebody's playing hard on the 3-point line, just take it into them and finish at the goal. He just taught me everything I know, and I can't thank him enough for it.
You played multiple positions when you were in high school. In fact, all of them, I think, at one point in time. What position are you going to be primarily used in college?
Point guard, shooting guard. That's what I believe. Is that right? Point guard and shooting guard.
Coach Nick, I'll ask you how you've seen Brandon's game evolve during his time at Cannon County. Talk about his growth there as a basketball player.
His growth as a basketball player, he kept improving. He's a leader out on the floor. His IQ was good, and some things that Brandon, that we thought that needed to work on. I told Coach Ramos is to attack the basket.
Brandon, talk about the things that you love most about the game of basketball, and go back maybe to West Side and maybe even before that made you really create that love for the game. And I want to make that a two-sided question. You talked about wanting to maybe give up basketball toward the end of the season. What was it that you lost that maybe told you that you wanted to give up the game of basketball?
Well, starting with the love of basketball. It was just looking at the game of basketball. You would it'd be there for you no matter what. You can relieve stress. You can get all of your emotions out just going in the gym, working out, and you can get better. The game of basketball makes you a better person in life, not just in the sport. And whenever I started thinking about quitting basketball, I had a very self-centered look at it because season ended early and it wasn't what I was expecting it to be. And I was just very self-centered about it and not thinking about how I could make myself better and looking ahead in the future, see what I had ahead of me. But after time and talking with Coach Ramos and working out with him, I finally started seeing the better side of things, and now I'm here where I am right now.
Get back to the Coach Ramos. I just wanted to piggyback on that from your point of view. What did you see of Brandon when he came to you initially, and what do you see of him now, and what changed along the way that has now recreated his hunger to play the game again?
I've been doing this for 25 years, and when I saw Brandon, his love for the game had diminished for a variety of sources, so I had to pick his brain to see where he wanted to go. I had to evaluate him mentally first because you got to be psychologically into a sport before you can go forward, and you got to develop an inner love. You don't play for other people. It's a lot of athletes in this cafeteria here that sometimes they want to play for a coach. No, you play for the love of the game. Now, when I redeveloped that love he had for the game and I made him laugh out there on the court, see, you can have fun doing something you love the most. And I stress repetition with technique, which creates muscle memory. And we would do hundreds and hundreds of the same thing, and he worked at it hard. And I didn't cut him I cut to the chase. If he messed up, he dropped and gave me push-ups, okay? Well, sometimes I give him push-ups, he started laughing. Well, I knew the love was starting to come back at that time. I said, you're playing for Brandon. You're not playing for mama, you're not playing for, you're gonna play for your teammates when you're on the team. Now, when I rekindled that, it was all she wrote because he started traveling long distance just to be with me. And when I saw that dedication, I knew he was going somewhere. So I got on the phone and started making some calls.
At Cumberland, where do you see Brandon, what's going to be his immediate impact, and long term, what do you see as his full potential for you at Cumberland?
It's kind of hard to say right now because we're not a pro. We don't promise playing time. We don't promise this. But one thing I can see that I know we'll get out of Brandon. He's a kid that's going to bring it every day, and just hearing from what his middle school, high school coaches saying, Coach Ramos, and just everybody who says something about Brandon at this podium. He's a kid that's going to bring it every day. He's a kid that's going that wants to be better. And I tell guys all the time, if you have the will, you'll be with a coaching staff that'll help you reach any limit you want. So, but as far as positioning, like he said, he'd be a tweener between a point guard and a shooting guard. So, that's where that Coach Ramos, we can get him attacking the basket a little more. That'll help. So,
I got this.
All right.
Brandon, just one more thing. What really stood out about Cumberland to you, and how excited, and maybe you can talk about the academic side and some things that you look to do on that side as well.
Well, Cumberland, first off, it's close. It's not that far. And secondly, I love the campus. And looking at what they had last year, I really liked what I seen, and it just kind of stood out for me. And whenever they had offered me, I was on it. Like, as soon as he told me that, I said, I'll take it. But
We hadn't heard from Coach Haley yet.
yeah, no, we're gonna have to get him to talk, aren't we? Until he gets on the court.
What was it like to coach Brandon in middle school, in middle grade?
I'm really interested.
I'd like to have a few more if that will answer your question. He's a tremendous player. His asset is probably his knowledge of the game. For those that don't know, Brandon started being my manager when he was, kindergarten or first grade. By the third and fourth grade, as a manager, he was drawing up plays for me during the game to help me win the game. And but his floor knowledge and what makes him special is the way he treats his teammates. You know, you can have good players, but if they don't treat their teammates right, then they're not so good of players. And he took a lot of young players under his wing, and he's helped our program at Westside tremendously. Some of those players still playing now, and he was a big strength in that aspect as well.
I bet you could probably, Coach Watson, attribute to some of those characteristics that Brandon brought to the team during your time here, as far as, you know, helping his teammates out, cheering his teammates on, you know, knowing the fundamentals of the game.
Yes, I can. What Coach Haley has brought up, he's exactly right. I remember he was injured one game and we won, and he was cheering the guys on, and he couldn't play that night, and he was sitting beside me, and he was that other coach on the sideline. So, you know, like I was saying earlier, he knows the game. He knows the game. Just a little more work. I think he's going to be a big asset to Cumberland University.
As director of schools, we had a great partnership with President Stump there at Cumberland. So having that good relationship with the administration, I think is very important as part of that. And Paul Stump is a great president. We've had students, other students who have gone academically to Cumberland, but having that relationship with a college like a Cumberland, and I'm a result of private school education except I told Brandon, I said, I want to go when y'all play Lee University, where I graduated from. So I'm hoping to see Cumberland beat Lee, Coach. No pressure. But I do want to see that, and that great relationship that we have with Cumberland to continue with Paul, and seeing the 4 athletes that we're already sending to Cumberland. And what it is that what our other athletes see is the great possibilities that Cumberland has to offer, whether it's basketball, soccer, or the legendary coach Woody Hunt. I told those guys who signed with Coach Hunt, I said, get ready to work and get up early and get ready to work. And I think that's what's happening in basketball too. But our relationship with Cumberland is one that we are very, very thankful for. Thank you.
Brandon, I'll be done after this last question, but
Right.
as you leave Cannon County and graduate this, I guess about a week or so, talk about what you want people to remember you at Cannon County as a basketball player, and specifically, what would you tell the teammates that you're leaving behind here at Cannon County as far as what you'd like to see them do as they move on up in their careers?
Well, I want people to remember me as the basketball player that cared for every teammate no matter what, and was by your side through everything. Even though I would yell at some of them, and one of them knows who they are, I would yell at some of them where I get onto them. At the end of the day, they were still my brother. And for the future teammates, or not future teammates, but for the future, next year's team, I want y'all to do better than what I have done these last 4 years, okay? I want y'all to get past district. I want y'all to go region, and I mean it, okay? If y'all don't, I might have to whoop some of y'all. But that's about it right there.
Well, I guess to just wrap this up, we want to thank everybody again for coming, and we will have some pictures here, and we got some refreshments over here, and we just appreciate everybody for coming. Thank you.